Okay, in this probability video, we're going to look at sample space diagrams. And when they become useful. Well, for example, if let's just say I am throwing two dice, we know that a dice has 6 sides, all the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the probability of getting each number is a 6. So the probability of getting, let's just say, a 3, provided that the dice is fair, is 1/6, because you've got 1, 3, and you've got 6 sides to the dice, or 6 faces to the die. But if I'm throwing 2, and let's just say I'm adding up the values shown, if I was to find out what is the probability of getting, let's just say, an 8, so the probability that the dice is going to show me the number 8, well, when I add the two values up, I will get the number 8. Then now you got to start thinking about, okay, I threw it, how many ways can I get 8? I can get 6 and 2, or I can get 2 and 6. I can get 5 and 3, or I can get 3 and 5, and then I can get 4 and, and it's a lot of work, it makes you work a lot. But if you use a sample space diagram, now that makes life so much easier. So let's just show you now how to draw a sample space diagram. It sort of looks like a grid, and this is going to be my die 1. Die is the singular for the word dice, so die 1, and this is die 2 here. And all the possible values I can get would be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. So those are the numbers I can get from die 1. And just the same way, from die 2, I can get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. Okay, now what I'm going to do, as you can guess, is find all my possibilities. So if die 1 shows me a 1 and die 2 shows me a 1, that means that when I add them up, I'm going to get 2. If die 1 shows me a 2 and die 2 shows me a 1, I'm going to get 3. This will be 4. You get the picture. I'm going to spare you the trouble, and I'll just fill the table out. Okay, my table is now filled out. These are all my possible answers I can get from each of the once I throw the dice in any possible time. Once I throw both of them, these are all the possible summations I can get. So I'll just pick one at random. Let's just say die 2 shows me a 3 and die 1 shows me a 5. It means that my sum is going to be 8 there. Okay, that's fantastic. Now let's put it to good use. So now let's go back to the question that we've just had, and the question we've just had is, what's the probability that when I throw the two dice, when I add the two answers, I'm going to get an 8. Well, look how easy this is now. How many 8s have I got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 8s I've got there. So I immediately know that means that my probability is 5 out of something. How many numbers I've got? Well, I've got 6 down this side and 6 across, which makes 36 numbers. So 5 out of 36. And that's the beauty of a sample space diagram. Let's just say I want to find, I don't know, probability that I'm going to get a number that is bigger than 8. Just playing around with it now. I want a number that's bigger than 8. If I would not want to have to calculate this without a sample space diagram. So a number that's bigger than 8 means that I can either get a 9, or, and I'll add, a 10, or an 11, or a 12. Okay, so all those are numbers bigger than 8. Well, let's have a look, see. What's the probability of getting a 9? I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 9s there. So that becomes 4 out of 36. What's the probability of getting a 10? I've got 1, 2, 3 10s there. So that's 3 out of 36. And the probability of getting an 11, 2 out of 36. Probability of getting a 12, 1 out of 36. And that brings us nicely down to 4 plus 3 is 7 and 3 is 10 out of 36. If you want, you can break it down, but it is really that easy. Alright, let's complicate things a little bit. In this next question, we're going to throw a die, so one die and a coin. Alright, so and we're going to look at what probabilities we're going to get. So let's just say we're going to throw a die and a coin. So from the die I'm going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And let's move the coin a little bit away. From the coin I can either get a head or a tail. Can't get anything else from a coin. So I'm going to draw my sample space diagram. So a head and a 1, a head and a 2. Let me just finish this up. Okay, so far I've got what looks like 12 possibilities, because I've got 6 possibilities here and 6 possibilities there. So there are 12 possibilities altogether. Now let's start messing around with it. Let's just start by something very simple. Probability of getting, so probability of the event giving me a head and a 3, say. Okay, so if you look very carefully, I've only got 1 that gives me a head and a 3, so therefore 1 out of 12. That's the probability of getting a head and a 3. Okay, let's turn it on its head a little bit. No pun intended there. Let's say that the probability that I'm looking for is to get, don't know, let's say a tail and a 5, or a 2 and a head, say. Okay, so well, a tail and a 5, there it is. There's only one of them, so 1/12 plus a 2 and the head is only one of those as well, so 1/12 again becomes 2/12, which becomes 1/6. Okay, so that's how we use sample space diagrams. They're brilliant once you have them. And you can basically calculate generally most things with them. Alright, hope this was helpful. Have a go doing some questions on your own.